the early comments are everyone is pretty much shaken. And, in the
Mm.
pre-show, we were talking about how just even getting the news resembled the day that Michael Jackson was taken to the hospital. And somebody else mentioned it's also very similar to how we found out about Prince.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
All right, I think there's a good amount of people in the
yeah,
room,
we
right?
should,
I think we'll get started.
Kick us off, Stefan.
Yeah,
We've got
so
a packed
hey,
house.
hey, everybody! This is a very special episode of MLVC. We're going to do things a little differently today, just because not really here to entertain or laugh or joke. Obviously, the news broke earlier this afternoon about Madonna being in the hospital, and all things tour related and then some are on pause. So we just thought, because when it happened, the reaction that I had, it was such a strong guttural reaction of panic and sadness that I wanted to get us all together in a room and be here for one another as a Madonna fan. And just, we have this community. So I thought it would be good for us to sort of come together and just have a bit of a breath. We will say she's okay. She's on the mend. Guy Osiri would not have made an announcement if things were in dire straits. So I feel positive and happy about that. Before we get to our conversation, I do want to thank you, Ben and Liberty, for joining as you normally do with me. Also, today we have Jason Lee. He is a supporter of the podcast, also a hairstylist extraordinaire. Him and I have been chatting left and right. I thought he'd be fun to have on the show to sort of talk us through this moment as well. Liberty, can you read the Guy Osiri's post? This is how we found out about it.
Yes. So he posted this afternoon on Saturday, June 24th, Madonna developed a serious bacterial infection, which led to a several-day stay in the ICU. Her health is improving. However, she is still under medical care. A full recovery is expected. At this time, we will need to pause all commitments, which includes the tour. We will share more details with you as soon as we have them, including a new start date for the tour and for rescheduled shows. Yeah.
So that was the post that sort of rocked everyone's world. What were your initial thoughts, Jason? You're our guest tonight. What were your initial thoughts when you saw that post?
Somebody had sent it to me. I kind of briefly read through it. I wasn't, it's a lot to take in. I didn't even really get the severity of what was happening. And then I guess I was on Instagram and I saw this page 6 post that said she was unresponsive. And I thought that was, that's what got me also, like, at the end of the day, to listen to page 6. It was not necessarily the right thing to do, but it was a horrific thing to read. I think it's one that all Madonna fans on some level dread to have that moment happen. We've she's been our strength and our voice for so many years now. We're all so used to that. And for her to be vulnerable like this, I think is something that rocks all of us. But yeah, it was a terrible moment and still trying to deal with it right now.
Yeah. Ben, what do we know? What's the news? Let's report the way that the news outlets are handling this. Obviously, Jason mentioned page 6, which I thought they were a little inappropriate in the headline that they posted.
Yeah. So page 6 had the most salacious coverage, claiming that she had been found unresponsive, and one of their stories claimed that Lola found her, et cetera, et cetera. But Billboard, New York Times, and even TMZ have pretty much stuck to the facts that are as they are known, without getting overly speculative. So, the Times, they're all reporting that she developed the infection. And on Saturday, she went to the hospital, and, it makes sense. They're not going to say anything until they know what the diagnosis is and what's happening. For those of us who are not famous, who've had to go to the hospital and have things happen, like, you only tell your immediate family, not the whole world. So It does make sense. But yeah, and his statement and the reporting is talking about it's not a cancellation. it's a postponement and a reschedule. That was a very careful word choice on Gaio series part. But yeah, other than and we all know that page 6 hates Madonna, so they have for a very long time.
Yeah, that was definitely just clickbait. They just wanted to have a bunch of views because they saw a developing story. Obviously, like we said, Gaio Siri, he wanted to make sure that he had all of the facts in order before he made an official statement. I'm sure there's a huge amount of facts that he needed to process and understand before he could go ahead and say anything about the tour. I mean, think about the amount of dates, the amount of venues, the amount of people that are involved in an undertaking such as the Celebration Tour. And, you know, having to postpone that is not an easy thing. And I'm sure her team is in 24/7 crisis mode right now.
Yeah.
You know, my heart goes out to Madonna. This is probably the last thing that she would want to have. She's been working so hard the last couple of months since this tour announcement has happened. And to be this close to launching the tour and then to have this happen. And, you know, a bacterial infection, that is nothing to mess around with. I've known several people that have gotten bacterial infections. It's Ben,
It'll yes, it will put you on your ass, and you can end up intubated and in septic shock, or in my case, you're sitting there in the wheelchair and admitting at the ER, and you just fall right out of it onto your face on the floor, and they have to rush you in. So,
oh no,
yeah, that's actually happened to me twice. I caught some kind of kooky bug hiking in Hawaii once, many years ago, and woo, it's scary. And you just don't, because it sneaks up on you.
Right.
You're like, oh, I just have like a cough and my lungs hurt. And
wow,
the next thing you know, you're just like at death's door. So, yeah.
And we know that she is the probably hardest working person there. You know, she has the weight of really the whole tour on her shoulders, because all of those people's jobs and all of those people's livelihoods do rely on her performing, her being there, working hard, getting ready, you know, putting on the best possible show. What we knew as far as how the tour was shaping up is very little, but and it's not been as in previous, like Madam X, there was just post after post every day about the rehearsal, and it's been rather quiet. But I think that she's been working really hard behind the scenes to make something incredible that we would speak about, you know, for decades. I really do think that the Celebration Tour is going to be that.
Is going to
epic.
be, yes.
Yeah. And I think Guy's message is hopeful.
Yep.
And I don't think Guy would put anything out if he had any druthers. Like if he thought that there was some weak link in that statement, he wouldn't even put it out. He's not the sort to willy-nilly post things. And in this instance, for him, Madonna is like family.
Oh, absolutely right. They've known each other for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like brother and sister at this point.
Right. And I just think about her family right now, especially for her children. I'm very it is moving to me to think about, because any time that you aren't well, like as a mom, and you're just like, I want to lay down, I have a headache, but you keep pushing through. And I think that, you know, sometimes you can push yourself just harder than your body's able to go. So I'm hopeful that, you know, that she's going to get better, that she's going to be back to being first the mom that she needs to be, and the person, the human. It's so easy to forget that she's just a human like us.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, I mean, we all wish her well. You know, we're sending her love and light and energy. For everyone who's watching right now, if you'd like to put a message in the chat, feel free, send some well wishes to Madonna. We'll do our best to read a couple a little later in the show. So that way, hopefully, maybe someone from Madonna's team, or maybe even Madonna herself, will hear these messages of love and light that we are sending to her. Jason, what's a empowering message that you have for Madonna?
I mean, I think one thing that I would say is that I mean, we all know, all Madonna fans know that she's super hardworking and that she puts everything she has in it. I feel if anybody can get past this, it's going to be her. I'm sure also, one thing I was going to add to some of the stuff that Liberty was saying, I had the opportunity, I'm not making this about me, I'm just telling the story. I had the opportunity to be a part of the Hard Candy Fitness dancing. I was one of the people who danced in the openings of the Toronto location. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there was a rumor that she was injured when that was happening. And, we did this 30-minute long routine and, she was pushing beyond what I think a human usually does. And I'm sure she was doing that for all of the rehearsals. I'm sure she was very proud of all the work that she was putting into this tour. So, I think a lot of us fans just want her to be better, and regardless of the project, it's going to happen. And we'll just be patient because she's human and she pushes herself very hard. Whatever has happened to her at this point, I think we all just want her to be better.
Yeah. Well, and I also think, good point you brought up. She's an athlete, she's pushed her body to limits unbeknownst to regular people. And I think that will help her in her recovery time. I mean, obviously she's got the best medical staff and care at her fingertips. I'm sure, they're paying very close attention to her and helping her in her recovery. She will definitely, hopefully her body, because of the conditioning that she's been going through with the tour rehearsals, that will help her bounce back a little bit faster. And I also hope, that she does not rush to get back to it. I mean,
take your time.
As disappointing as it is that the tour is not going to happen when we thought, I care for her. I hope that she gets better. And if it doesn't happen until next year, that's fine. I mean, personally, I don't think it's going to happen until next year. Let's pause for a moment and talk about what we feel the implications of the tour will be. So Guy Osieri said postponement. I'm assuming that means we were not seeing a tour until next year.
I think it will probably be indefinite as they see how well she's able to recover, because this is probably going to take, I'm just going with not my personal experience with, I've never been septic, but I know my mother was. It takes a lot of time to recover from that because the body is, while it is, a machine.
It's a poison, right? I mean, you've been poisoned.
Yeah, you're basically poisoned. Yeah. So the effects for that will take her a while. I did see some folks saying maybe this could be pushed back, that opening could be in October in Europe. I really feel that's a little early, me personally. I would rather her fully recover, fully rest, get back to 100%. She will still have to rehearse.
Sure. But when you take that much time off, it's not like she's going to be able to jump back into where she was last week on the rehearsals. I mean, things are going to change. It's going to, we don't know what the evolution of the tour will be. But,
correct. I'm fine if she takes a while. Honestly, I would rather her be 100% and ready than just to go because, she thinks she's got to do it because of the fans or because she's not a commodity in that sense. The first thing is just to be healthy. The first thing is just to be feeling up to it. Because if she starts too fast, we risk cancellation.
A relapse. I mean, exactly.
Right. And it's much better. I can wait a year. It's not, there's no rush to me because I'm not, I only get enjoyment and excitement from her tours and her shows and her art altogether. She owes us nothing. At the end of the day,
100%. It is disappointing to the fans, obviously, but I would hope that everyone who is a fan of Madonna genuinely wants her to be well, to be healthy. I mean, I feel like I've been in a relationship with Madonna for over 30 years. And, you know,
Right.
like to be adoring this person for as long as I have, it would be really selfish and unfair for me to hang that on her. You know,
I will say, I mean, I really think, you know, for a lot of us or for fans, you might feel that disappointment. You might feel, you know, "Oh, my refunds or my whatever." Honestly, like, how would you feel if things hadn't turned out this well? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't rely. I mean, I'm disappointed that I'm not going to meet Stefan as quickly as I thought I was, but honestly, it's going to give us more time overall. You know, think of it like, oh, I can save for more merch, or, you know, all of those
right.
things happen for a reason. And
take a couple extra shifts at the restaurant,
there you go.
Get some more tip money to.
Also, can I just say, has she not given us enough?
Right.
Like, has this woman not worked hard enough for her art, but also for what she's really truly given to each one of us? She's, you know, we have a lifetime of work.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's stuff that we haven't even seen. You know, this will happen when it needs to happen. And I think also, I mean, the disappointment is also not just Madonna fans. I mean, this tour was and is going to be her greatest hits tour, right? Yeah. This is the big one. This is the one that she's worked for. So I'm sure there's a huge level of disappointment in the camp and everybody around her. And
sure. Right. Exactly. Like, I think about that, you know, it's not just affecting Madonna. It's affecting all of the people that she's been working with, Bob the drag queen, all of those dancers, the crew, all of those people. I mean, they've been going every day, the hours that they must have been putting in the last couple of months. You know, it's a lot of work. And I think that's also, I'm sure that must weigh so heavy on her to know that, like, she's the one holding that up. That's, you know, it can't be good. You know, it's like when you're trying to, like, get ready for a party and everyone's like, come on, let's go. And you feel like, all right, I'm trying. That's, you know, it's like times 100 from where Madonna is right now. Yeah, Ben, what are some of the people in the chat expressing?
I mean, most people are sending well wishes. A few people are concerned about, you know, their tickets and their travel plans. And I get that. That's a natural reaction, especially when it's something you're super looking forward to. But most people are in agreement that it's health first and everybody's sending well wishes. There was a really good, Marina B said, M has been a bright life in my life. Her music and her passion has helped me during many dark times. I've always looked up to her and admired her. I send her all my love and can't wait to see her.
That's Marina, who we just spoke with recently for our I'm Breathless episode, which we are pushing to next week. It was supposed to come out tomorrow, but in light of today's news, I felt like I'm Breathless can wait a couple of days. I felt this was a little bit more timely and important. So.
And then I'm trying to find it. There was another. Cameron Smith posted, Madonna is my chosen mom. I have gotten so much strength from the messages of her music at times when I felt completely alone. I am so grateful for her. And then a user named Madonna Double says, surrounding Madonna in golden healing light. Madonna, you are healing and getting stronger every second. Take all the time you need to get through this. We understand and support you 100%. Yeah.
These are great.
Yeah. She is our someone posted, she is our queen. Even my CEO of my company sent me an email about Madonna's health.
Oh, that is amazing. People have been texting me like, hey, what's going on with Madonna? So
I think that's one of the wonderful things about being part of the Madonna community is when something happens with Madonna in the news, whether it be good or bad, you know, you're always the person that everyone in your life comes to. I mean, I had just gotten off a work meeting telling everyone about my Madonna vacation, that I was going to Vancouver in 2 weeks. And I'm so excited to meet my co-host Liberty for the first time in person. And literally we hung up from the call. I check my phone, saw the news from Guy Oseary and suddenly started getting, my phone was blowing up. And then people from work were instant messaging me being like, did you just see the news about Madonna? And they're like, oh no, your vacation. And yeah, I mean, like Ben was saying, it's unfortunate, you know, I mean, Liberty and I, we made hotel reservations. I have booked a bunch of plane trips to Vancouver and then elsewhere afterwards. And I based my summer vacation around this. And yeah, it's disappointing. Sure. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it'd be selfish of me to cry about the fact that I have to pay a change fee to, you know, make an airline change or whatever. It's, you know, I want her to be healthy and I want her to have a good time on the tour. I don't, you
Also,
know, like, I mean, remember, if we can all remember, she was cranky and miserable when she was doing Madam X because she was in, not saying that facetiously. I mean, you could tell that there was a pain.
She was in pain.
She was not experiencing a good time. She, you know, she was pushing on that tour, and I don't want that to happen again. You know, I want her to have love and light. So,
and I was thinking about, you know, how given we've gotten a lot of good news in the last couple of weeks, you know, first artist female, right, to have a top 10, like in all of the 50 years right now, 40 years, every single decade, like since the 80s. So she's had, I don't even know, I can't count, and that doesn't matter.
Thank God
y'all love me anyhow. It's a good thing I can't count, to be honest. But yeah, like, I mean, these are really amazing feats. And if you guys really want to do what you can to support her, you know, stream more. That's another thing, right? She's gotten all, like, her stream, I think she just hit over 41 million listeners on monthly listeners on Spotify. I mean, these are amazing feats that people seem to almost ignore. I don't know if it's the largeness of the persona or what it is, but these are incredible feats. Share her music, play her music, stream her music, post stuff about her, well wishes, good things, all of that. Maybe she won't see or know your one stream, but it's the least that you can do, I think, to sort of show her. And I really do think that the more consistent and positive things that you are able to say, I do think her management can see those things. Sure. I do think that her team can see those things. So what you say matters, what you put in the universe matters. And, you know,
and isn't this a moment to quite ironically celebrate her work? Mm-hmm. You know, celebrate all that she's done. And you know, it's ironic because what happened with the news from today really just kind of, it forced all of us to really take a look at the reality of Madonna's life. And I think in these moments, if anything that she's taught us is to really appreciate all that she's created. And yeah, I mean, at least that's what I'm going to do at this point is, you know, Madonna concerts are like better than Christmas for fans. It's we all get together.
Absolutely.
We're super excited to see her. Can we get close? Can we have an interaction? Whatever the experience is. But I mean, it's what you're saying, Liberty. It's like taking the time to really relish in the last 5 decades of work. I think it's 5 decades to your point. So, I mean, that's what this is. This is that era for us to really appreciate her, whether it was through the biopic or through this tour, whatever it is. This is that moment, and we'll get all of it. I know, but you know, it's
that, and it's also I've lost several people close to me this year, and today's thing, I was like, oh my God. Like we were talking in the pre-show. I didn't have the reaction of, she's died. I was like, oh, we're finally hearing, like, cause she's been on social media, mm-hmm. et cetera, et cetera. But it is a reminder, right? Just that we have this conversation and that people are having these feelings to, sort of
mortality,
that not anticipate something, but to sort of have a gut check about reality and our own mortality and just what community means to you when you're in that space. It's very important. And oh no, nobody said they knew what. Okay, there's some confusion in the chat about people knew before. What I mean is, like, we all had noticed that there was no posting on Instagram for how many days now? It's
been a while.
It's been a while since they posted anything. So I know I was like, I texted Stefan the other day and I was like, is she gone from New York? Do we know? Have we heard anything? Is she in LA? Da 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 da. And,
well, no, I think maybe that person's replying to the fact that we had heard a rumor on Sunday. Word had gotten to us that something might have happened to Madonna. And I thought it was very strange to hear the news that she might be in the hospital. And I figured this is just a nasty rumor. And we don't like to spread rumors on the show, especially if there's something concerning her health. And unfortunately, it turned out to be true. But yeah, I think that was maybe what that person's referring to, where and look, that's the thing. There's so many rumors fly around when she's that famous of a person, people are going to either make up stories or hear things or, I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad she got the help that she needs. And yeah, you're right, Ben. The mortality thing, whether we want to admit it or not, we are all people, and that day in the sky is going to come to all of us eventually. I think it's what Jason is saying is absolutely 100%. Appreciate her while she's here.
Yeah. And even, it's not even just necessarily only mortality, but just anything can change instantaneously. There's no, you have to appreciate, right? And like, I would say that there's some positive things is, when we hear news like this, the first thing you're like is, I need to tell somebody, I need to talk to somebody. And the Madonna community is, for the most part, loving and supportive. And, we all want to, this is why this show exists, is just to chat about her. Yeah. And so I'm so happy and thankful that I've got, obviously, you guys, but just also the other fans and all of those who are listeners of the show and supporters as well. We come together to sort of hold each other's hands, proverbially, if you will, but to remember that, hey, I appreciate not only Madonna, but I appreciate all of the fans that I've met and all of the people who care enough to ask me about how I'm doing about news like this. I think that shows how supportive her community is and how important what we do, not only on the show, but just as, as humans out in the world for Madonna.
Yeah.
Positively representing who she is and what she's created for us. So.
Well said. I
agree. Somebody just added in the chat, I've been saying that for years since Carrie Fisher passed. Celebrate your icons while they are here, because once they are not, they're not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder.
Yeah. The finality is.
Yeah. I mean, it was rough when the news broke. I was still at work and I was on deadline to get stuff done and my phone's blowing up. And because we have this community, I feel indebted to try to make sure that we're here for each other. And that it was like, messaging Liberty and Ben saying, we have to do this tonight. Like, I just felt compelled, when she's a part of our lives. And even though she's not like sitting next to me on a daily basis, but, I was like, we have to talk about this. We have to sort of be there for each other during this moment. And it was important. But it's, we all work jobs. And so I was like trying to juggle, like I was telling my boss, I'm like, oh my God, my vacation just got canceled. And I'm like, I'm getting you that document. Don't worry. It's like, there's a lot that goes on in life, and we all can be busy. But I'm glad that for everyone who's watching right now or listening, when we replay this, thank you for being a part of this community. I sometimes don't get the chance or the opportunity to reply as much as I want to on our Instagram account or on our any of the messages that you send me. I get them, but I do work a full-time job, and I got to pay the bills, and MLVC does not pay the bills. So I gotta, but I appreciate everything that you send into the show. And if it's just a little heart that I send on your message, please know that I've read it and I appreciate it. And we all are thankful that you're here.
Yeah. And I've said it once, but I'll say it again. We love Madonna.
Amen. Yeah, after I slipped to the gym because I had so much nervous energy about the news that I was like, I need to move because I sit all day, and I was like, let me go to the gym and just center myself before we have to do this show. And I put on my MLVC Madonna playlist. It was all Madonna all the time. And, I had an hour with her, and it was good. It helped me refocus and helped me appreciate her. Jason, I have a question for you. What is a go-to Madonna album for you when you are sad or pensive, or you maybe need some cheering up? Do you go to Madonna?
For sure. I think when I'm in that place, I'm definitely listening to the Something to Remember collection. She's just, in all those ballads, just every single thing that she talks about throughout that. I might skip I Want You. That might be the one song I skip. But everything else is, and it also reminds me of a time that was, that's the thing about her music, right? It's like for all of us and all of our lives, as different as they are, I guess any musician is like this, or artist, but like she really takes you back to places that were positive, sad, happy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think, one great thing about Madonna's work is that because it was so visual, it wasn't just some random video. I think we all kind of put ourselves in that space that she was with some of the videos, whether it was You'll See or whatever it is, Rain or whatever, we just kind of embody it again because she created such a depth of work around her music. So when I'm trying to figure stuff out, or if I'm upset about something, or, just trying to process something, that's usually the one that I go to.
Liberty, we've had a couple of requests in the chat for you to maybe sing a little bit of Madonna for everybody tonight.
A Madonna song?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Do you have a voice to do that tonight?
Yeah,
Liberty?
we don't
want to put you on the spot.
Well, okay. I'm trying to think though what. Well, do you know what is coming to mind? Like the first thing. Don't tell me to stop. Tell the rain not to drop. Tell the wind not to blow. 'Cause you said so. I can't even remember the words.
That was wonderful.
But that's what I feel like for her. There is, even if she's ill, she's sitting there like, am I going to go to work today? Like, I got to get up. It's time to go. Like,
I'm sure her assistant is working their tail because she's probably sitting right next to Madonna in the bed while Madonna's like, you need to do this. You need to do that. Please
Right.
do this.
The band's in the hallway to rework some songs. Let's not get it confused.
She's like, I can rehearse from bed.
Yeah. She's like, set up a Zoom.
Oh, Liberty, everyone is sending hearts and thank yous and teary emojis for your little bit of song. That was wonderful.
Hard. It's so hard to sing on the spot. And of course I'm so like lately really bad with words. You should have heard, I was in the car earlier. I'm still on the I'm Breathless train. And yeah, you should have heard me on More. That was a silly goose little song. But that's the song that came to mind immediately, just because I think, obviously, I love the music album, but that one is so special because it's like, it has a message just of who she is, it really is just exactly who she is. And people will tell her, try to take her down, try to get her to quit, try to, publish salacious things about her health. And no, she's not going to stop. It's postponed, not stopped.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's correct.
So, thank you so much, guys I can't see the comments because
you're getting all sorts, you're getting your flowers, so, as the kids say.
I'm going to start going on TikTok, and then you guys can like send me like all these little.
Well, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because I thought, what better gift we could give to Madonna than sending her messages on social media? You know, like I think now more than ever, post to her. I'm sure if she's stuck in bed, she's not going to be a happy woman knowing that she can't be out there doing what she loves. And we know she watches stuff on Instagram and TikTok. So I think if you want to send her a message, do it now. Tag her up, tag her, hashtag her. You know, I think it would be a good time to do that. Show her your appreciation right now.
Right now. You didn't say what your go-to album is.
To lift my spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need one song.
Okay.
One song. Correct.
Yes.
I knew it. And see, that's what we're doing right now. Can we get together?
Yeah. I hear those synths. Boom, boom. And I'm like, yes.
Sends you.
Yeah,
right there.
That one's in my, I think my go-to album though, in a moment like this, is always going to be Ray of Light. It just takes you on that journey. And yes, the ending of it is sad with the song about her mom, but like you've taken this whole journey and it's just so, but yeah, if I have the one song, it's probably Vogue. I'm so cliche for that, but I was 16 when it came out, and it just represented so much to us at the time, at a time when the world, it just seemed like we were ready to be discarded. And then that song came out, and it's like, wow. So
Liberty, what's your go-to Madonna song to lift your spirits?
Oh, to lift my spirits? Keep It Together. I think just because it's so dancey, but I'm such a family oriented person. So and that's any sense of family. It doesn't necessarily have to be people you're blood related to. It's just, family, and community, and bringing people, remembering that, yes, we might disagree, or we might feel, annoyed by a person, but at the end of the day, we have a bond, and I love Keep It Together. It really always lifts my spirits.
Okay, so I polled the chat. I said, quick, post your lift your spirit song. Here's what we've got so far. Couple of Vogues, Ray of Light, Over and Over. Wasn't expecting that one. Props to you, Daniel. And then Cherish
Over and Over from the You Can Dance.
Yeah. So several people are posting Angel. I do love that song.
Liberty has a fantastic cover of Angel on
Spotify. Somebody said Jump, Causing a Commotion, Ray of Light, God Control actually got a vote. Oh, now we're getting Justice for Angel up and down the chat. Living for Love got a vote. Oh, wow.
I almost said Live for Love.
This Used to Be My Playground gets a vote. Several for Vogue. Turn Up the Radio. Oh, another vote for Ray of Light. Oh, Nothing Really Matters. Oh, several Angels, several get-togethers. Gambler, Into the Groove, Express Yourself. Holly, somebody voted for Ghost Town.
Holiday's a really good one. I think Holiday too. That's a really pump it up song. Celebration.
Mark S posted the Music Inferno from Confessions Tour.
Yes.
That's a really good one.
So good.
Finally somebody said Open Your Heart. I was
going to say Open Your Heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, someone voted for Spotlight.
I mean, they're all good. They're all good songs. You can't go wrong.
Finally somebody says Into the Groove. Oh, someone said Till Death Do Us Part. Okay. I guess if you really don't like Sean Penn, that's your song. Oh, somebody posted Amazing from Music. I do like that's a bop. Love Profusion gets a vote. Where's the Party? Hung Up finally shows up. I'm surprised that I didn't get mentioned more often. Everybody.
Ben's just my love. He's lost in the chat.
I love it. Well, because it's so, because there's currently 178 people watching, and we're just getting this like wide. Oh, somebody posted deeper and deeper. There you go.
Yes, that one.
White heat, which we were just talking about in
That's
the I'm
right.
Breathless episode. Oh, somebody posted Easy Ride, everybody. Oh, this is great. It's all over the place.
It's so good. They're all such great songs. Exactly. Go out after this, go listen to some Madonna, stream, watch her videos, watch her tours, do some TikToks, send love to, do it. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to Madonna. We're going to close out for the night, unless, Ben, there's anything else in the chat you need to report on?
Somebody called out a Rescue Me remix that I love, the SOS.
The SOS. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, that's such a good... So good. Oh my gosh.
Jason, thanks for joining us. I know this is a little bit of a auspicious evening. We will have you back for a more buoyant and fun little chit chat, maybe somewhere in the near future.
I think what's really cool, just as a final thing to say, is we started off all just so really down about the whole situation, and now we're smiling, and that's the power of Madonna.
That's the power of Madonna. Yeah.
Amen. True. Everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. We love Madonna. We're glad you're here with us. Stay tuned next week. Our I'm Breathless album will be out. Our I'm Breathless album review. We're doing our own I'm Breathless album.
Stefan did a cover version of the entire album, everybody. Wait until you hear the remix section of Now I'm Following You. That's an interesting name.
Dick.